we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Atlanta Falcons. A happy Christmas Eve to all. What a good one we have in store as we are underway here in Week 16. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Richardson going right to the air. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
On the ready.
2nd and 10. Here's the former NFL rushing champ. It's Jonathan Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You talk about this Falcon defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. In motion is McKenzie. On 3rd down, here's Richardson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a gain of 20. First down.
Go!
First and 10, Taylor now. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Ready, break.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their 25-yard line.
Ready.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Ritter now. And complete to Drake London. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Ritter and London team up there. First down, Atlanta. Ritter will set up to throw it. Throws right back to London, complete again. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Ritter. Over the middle, caught by London. And down inside the 15 he goes. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Robinson will try to pick it up. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Second down, here's Richardson. To the sideline and incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. You talk about this Falcon defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Now he is not going to get the first down as he'll spot this at about the 28. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Cordero Patterson deep for Atlanta. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
Okay, ready?
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Check,
and they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time. A drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
They kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. What a run, 79 yards on the punt return. And the Colts have taken the lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Here we
The
go.
Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Second and 10 now. It's Ritter. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Ritter. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, go steal.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Ready.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Opposite. Read. Strike. Check. Strike. Ready.
2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw it here. Ritter. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positive.
And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And that one results in 35 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They motion the running back out left. A quick hitter complete. It's Taylor. Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Falcons 7. Matt Gay to kick off for the Colts.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Ritter. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Let's go.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Ritter back to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It was the linebacker, Shaquille Leonard, who applied the heat.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense. Coming up that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Drill green.
Ritter to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another 1st down at the Colts 33. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
1st down, here's Ritter. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Falcons at 500, 7-7 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
43 rail.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Ritter on the 4th down try. And it is caught. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13 and the decision to go for it. Looks like a smart one.
Ready.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready.
Ritter from the gun. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Red. Cycle.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Ready. Ready.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Ritter throwing on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's 2nd and 3. On the option to give to Taylor here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Richardson to throw off play action. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, it took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally, you would think he'd just take off and run downfield. He was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
Here's Richardson to throw. Oh, and that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Falcon football.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Come on, set.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Second down and a yard. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On 3rd and 1, it's Ritter. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Ritter on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Another throw coming up here for Ritter. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, Ritter. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Now an option play on second down. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Ritter now. This one complete to Scott Miller. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Ritter to throw on first down. Finding Miller once more, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short, Ritter. Short throw, caught by Pitts. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, with his size, you've really got to wrap up, because arm tackles, they're not going to cut it. And that time, he used his full-grown man strength to fight off his defender and pick up the first down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Working from the gun, Ritter. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts' 24-yard line. Give him 18 on the play.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Ritter looking to throw on 1st and 10. That is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Throw left side. There's London. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll run for it with Robinson. And all the way down inside the 5 of the 4. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more. This time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Robinson will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Robinson. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Young Wei Koo for the Falcons field goal. A 20-yard.
Koo knocks this one through the post. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission. possession, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping it.
And he's loose again. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Colts. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because
this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked up by Juju Brents, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Meanwhile, Richardson's throw pulled in by Woods. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jelani Woods, 41 yards. And the Colts will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
No return here for Patterson, so they'll begin things at the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ready.
On the counter, this is Robinson. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Let's go now.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Here's Ritter. Sets up the screen to Robinson. Shoves him aside. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Okay, ready? Hey, go Fury. Hut.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Ritter will set up to throw it. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32. That one a first down pickup of 8.
That's another Falcons.
Set.
Looking to throw it here. Ritter. He's into space past the 25. And finally marked down at the 23. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Going play action. Ritter. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Juju Brents. And the Colts are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
84 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. A 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Taylor. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now a 2nd and 6. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Colts send out their new kicker for 2023, Matt Gay, for the field goal. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Ready.
Robinson up the middle. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.